Good afternoon. Under the camera you see some of what I need to get started on my final for the assignment, Dragon Eyes. It's a scratchboard assignment, so here I have a sheet of scratchboard. You can see that it's pretty much totally black, very shiny. Now underneath this black surface is some bright, colorful glitter, so we can call this glitter board if you want. And the idea is to scratch the design using a stick, to scratch out the design, removing the top black layer and leaving the glitter show through. That's how you're going to create your lines and shapes. So instead of adding to this board, we're going to subtract, we're going to take away. Now remember, this is my concept drawing for my Dragon Eyes assignment. The first thing I need to do to take my concept drawing and attach it to my glitter board. So I'm going to turn my glitter board face down. I'm going to turn my concept drawing face up, align the two along the top edge, leave a little channel of space there, and put a piece of tape there to connect the two sheets of paper on one end and then again on the other. Now those tape pieces create hinges, so I now can lift and lower that concept drawing, that cover sheet now, right on top of my scratch board, and it'll stay there. I'm not going to remove the tape. Now I have a red pen here. Any kind of ballpoint pen will work, but it's probably best that it's not black. Blue, green, yellow, orange, pink, whatever, but not black. And I'm simply going to go over my lines. Now I have to go over all my lines, and I don't have to do it perfectly, but I do want to kind of hit them pretty carefully. It could be that I'll want to stop here and speed this process up. Notice how I turn the paper to get a better angle. Swung a little wide there. So normally, and I know you can't probably see this under the camera, but I've left little dents in the scratch board right here where I pressed. And I have to go over all my lines to make dents on both sides, not just one. And I will stop now talking and just finish this step up, speeding up the camera, speeding up the film. There now. I have gone over all my lines left and right with my red ballpoint pen. As I've pressed on the concept drawing, the pressure has left a small dent in the scratch board beneath. I don't know if you can see that as I allow the surface to move about or not. I can see the dent. Now what I'm going to get ready and do now, using my pointed wooden stylus, I'm going to start scratching out this design. Now this is a pretty long process, so once I get started, again, I'll be quiet, continue the process, eventually speed up the film so we can condense and make shorter this entire video, and you can see this process taking place in a shorter period of time, at least the time you watch. The scratch board is real sensitive to the oil that's on your skin, so I washed my hands before I started working. But if I were to get oil from my skin to the scratch board, if I would transfer oil, it'd make it really hard to scratch. So sometimes I'll just use a Kleenex or a clean barrier like this scrap of paper to keep my hands from touching the scratch board directly. So that's why you might want to have a piece of scrap paper handy. I'll go ahead and get started. Once again, be quiet. I'll open the lines first. You don't need to press very hard. As I bite into the scratch board, you can see colors starting to show up. Sometimes my stylus will skip a bit. I just keep on going, not real heavy pressure. If it doesn't open up, don't worry about it. Eventually you'll get it to open up. You'll see that I'm kind of holding onto the scratch board by the edges. Now these lines are going to get much thicker, and I'm going to bring much more color to the surface later on, but it's really imperative, it's really important that you get the lines opened up at first, and we'll go from there. So I'll be quiet and get the lines opened up. Again, speeding the video forward just a little bit. There now, I'm done. That was tedious. That took a lot of focus and a long time. Probably 45 minutes to an hour. And for you, it might even take longer. Remembering that you do have to stay focused. That's one of the challenges of this assignment. The image is built up of many, many, many fine scratches that together create the image. You need a lot of scratching for this to work. A lot of scratching brings a lot of color to the surface. I want you to look at your edges, control them, don't make them look sloppy. If you need to go back and smooth an edge, do that. If you need to go back and remove excess black surface in order to clean up a surface, do that. All right, now you try.